Hey, it's Shannon from iHeartRadio Nights here with Carly Rae Jepsen. How are you?
I'm doing good.
It's a pleasure to meet you and see you and all the things.
Thank you.
How's the tour been going so far?
It's been really like a blast. We're having the best time. I think this is kind of like the tour I feel like we've worked our whole life to finally put on. So
Why do you say that?
well, I've opened for a lot of different artists in Canada, especially. So this is essentially like my first headlining tour.
Crazy.
Yeah.
This is your first headlining
In
tour?
Canada. But
Okay,
yeah.
That's crazy. And then Ralph is with you on tour?
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah,
We're
I've
really
heard good
lucky.
things.
Yeah.
So that's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's been going well. You have Hamilton tonight, right?
Hamilton tonight, Toronto tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting. So what can people expect if they come to your show?
We're basically just trying to make it a big party, and everyone seems there to help. So we have the same band boys as the last, like, some of us 10 years now together.
Yeah.
So it's quite like a family feeling on stage, and we just we're kind of mostly playing emotion and songs from Dedicated.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And a decade you've been making music now. Does it feel like it's been that long?
Yes.
Yeah, longer?
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, I've been on the hustle since I was like 7. I feel
Right.
like so. Yeah, it definitely feels like it's been a long time.
Yeah. So you've been singing since you were that old, and
Yeah.
have you been writing songs since you were around that age as well, or did that come later?
I started to take songwriting more seriously around age 17, I think. So
Okay.
it was a little bit later on, and then I was like hooked. It's like I didn't know you could like put your feelings to music like this. This is great. So yeah, I was off to the races after that.
Yeah. Is it like a crazy form of therapy to be able to just like turn all of these emotions into songs?
Yeah, I think in some ways there's definitely an aspect of that. I think I like that I can like try on a situation from a different angle, even if it's like the same thing. Give
Right.
myself different perspectives and start to like sort of feel like, oh, which one of these do I land with? I like that, and I think it's a really fun hobby to do while on the road,
Yeah.
because travel is so inspiring, and being in a new place, you kind of take on a new perspective naturally. So that's a real fun part of being on the road.
Yeah. And is it true that you wrote over 200 songs for this album?
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy, it sounds nuts, but I did that for Emotion too, and I kind of
Did you?
did a similar thing for Tug of War. Kiss, not so much because we were so rushed, but it's a part of my process. I don't know why, but until I land on the thing that I'm excited about, I just keep searching, and that takes a lot of experimenting and writing in a bunch of different directions.
Right. How do you even begin to narrow down from 200 songs into all the ones that you chose to do this album?
I mean, I do have listening parties, but I don't have listening parties where we go through all 200 songs. 'cause
Right. That would be-
I would have no friends.
Yeah. I'd be like, I don't want to come
too
over
much.
anymore. Yeah.
There's not enough wine. No, I usually pretty quickly, with some perspective, like 2 weeks after I've written the song, I can go back and be like, nah, well, not feeling it so much, or
Right.
like the love affair is over, or it's like, wait, there's something here, I want to work on it and workshop it a bit. So, and then when I do have it kind of narrowed down to a top running, then I start to
Right.
like ask for votes and see what people think.
Right. Is it a lot of just like trusting your gut that, okay, this is the one that I like?
It is.
Yeah.
And then my friends are bullies. So
Are they?
they just like tell me straight to my face, like, I hate these 3 songs. If that song doesn't make it, I'm leaving the band. Like stuff like that.
Okay.
And you're like, okay.
That's good to have people like that around, because I feel like a lot of like pop stars in general too, or just people in the music industry are surrounded by a lot of like yes men.
Yeah. Where are all the yes people? Because I don't have any of them.
You're surrounded by jerks. That can be good though. It keeps you
Very good.
level-headed,
Yeah.
right?
I am very lucky for that. They're my
Yeah.
brothers.
That's true. But then I feel like your fans are the total opposite of that, because you have some of the most like dedicated fans that I've seen out of anybody.
Yeah, I don't even know how that we got so lucky. Every time that I go on stage, I'm always like, well, that's probably was just how it was in Montreal, but
Right.
maybe in Hamilton they'll be a bit more chill. And every night I'm like, no, they want to party. Let's party. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's a fun energy to be involved in. So I feel very lucky.
Yeah, and because like for example, if I go through somebody's like comment section on their Instagram or something, of course, if it's like Justin Bieber, everybody will be like, "You're beautiful, I love you." But your fans are just like praising every single thing that you do. Like if you're eating breakfast, they're like, "Yes, queen of breakfast." Like why do you think your fans have just like become this?
I don't know. I think we share similar senses of humor. I
Right.
think where it's just like a joke begins and then we just I don't know. It spirals.
Yeah.
Like the sword thing. I don't know.
Yeah, like the sword
it's
thing.
just-
What is it
I
that?
don't know.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of swords now.
Okay, yeah, and you've been like knighted a bunch too, haven't you?
I don't know if I've been knighted.
Oh,
but
okay, but or you people.
but
just
yeah,
want to
I
knight
have
you?
been usually somewhere during Cut to the Feeling. Somebody will hand me a sword. It happens more often than it doesn't happen.
I'm surprised I can get that through security.
I know. Actually, we have a really hilarious picture of one of my tour managers wrapping the sword that he wanted to keep because it was a wooden one, and I was like, "Well, I don't. You take it home." And he took it all the way back to New York, and you see the sword going through security. I'm like, "How is this allowed?" But yeah, I guess. It's just
what do you do with the swords that people will hand you? I guess just like. Donate
I don't know.
They just end up somewhere. Yeah. So in this album, there's kind of, from what I've gathered, like an overall theme of love. Is that something that you intentionally did? Was that something that just so happened because that's how you were feeling at the time? Or was that something that you were like, okay, I want to have this theme kind of?
I mean, I feel like love is the most like obvious kind of thing for pop music to like kind of indulge in, but also I do have I would say probably an abnormal like sort of fascination with the subject and just the intricacies of different relationship dynamics. I've always found to be something I like could talk to you about for hours. Like, tell me your love life, start at the beginning. So I enjoyed that. Also, I think I was in my own life kind of exploring what it meant to be dedicated in love and just sort of like when to commit, when to like run the other way. Right. And so I was trying on those feelings and kind of expressing them through these songs. Yeah.
Yeah. If you start dating someone, do you have to kind of preference it like, hey, well, there's going to be love songs about you. Like, get ready.
I feel like that must kind of go just hand in hand, but yeah,
they know what they're getting into.
I'm not one to really want to spill like someone's like inside secrets.
Yeah,
I would do it with lots of metaphors.
That's how you're a great writer. That's how you do it. Okay, so I was driving around this morning. I was listening to the new Miley Cyrus, Ariana Grande, and Lana Del Rey song. Have you heard it yet?
I have not yet.
So it's called "Don't Call Me Angel," and then it had me thinking about like pop music in general and all of these like females coming together, like Lady Marmalade. You know how all those singers came together. So I want to know from you, if you were to make like a pop song with a bunch of other female pop artists, who would it be?
Okay, my girl group would be Robin.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Christine and the Queens. Charlie XCX. And maybe Maggie Rogers.
Wow, that's a good pick.
Yeah,
that's like a good dynamic of people.
It would be fun.
That would be fun. I would listen to that song. That's amazing. Okay, so Josh Ramsey was in here probably a couple months ago now. And we were talking about Call Me Maybe, and he had mentioned that when you guys made that song, he had no idea that it would become what it did. Did you feel the same way?
I don't think me, Tavish, or Josh had any clue. I think.
Did you know, like, okay, this is at least going to be like a top Canadian song, or did you had no idea?
No, I think that's the thing with all songs. It's just sort of like you have to let them go, and then whatever happens, happens. And I definitely felt the same with that. Of always like hopeful of like, okay, but no expectations. I think when it hit like top number 9 in Canada, I was like, we should throw a party. This is great news. And then it just like got a whole different life of its own. So, and still today, whenever I'm putting out new music, I'm always just like, whatever happens, happens. And like, not too much investment in that side of it.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. I guess you can only, you just have to trust your gut at the end of the day.
You have to make sure that you're going to like live happy with the song existing how it is and then like move on. Yeah.
Especially because you're the one who has to perform it every night.
Yes. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. That's very true. Awesome. Well, congrats on the album and everything you have going on.
Thank you so much.
I'm excited. What's coming up next? What's the plan moving forward?
I'm doing a lot of travel, so after we wrap up Canada, I'm gonna kind of continue on. Eventually, do some like Japan dates in Australia and stuff. So, really excited for that.
Yeah, and you've been to Japan a couple of times, haven't you?
A few times.
You have like a big Japan following.
Yeah. I love Japan.
They love you.
Yeah, it's a treat of my life that I get to go there. Have you been?
No,
it's like
I want to.
It should be top on your list. It's just so fascinating.
Okay, sweet. I'll add it. I'll be like, Carly Rae told me to come. I am here.
Made you go.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.